what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School. I'm here down in Atlanta, and I'm here for the We Buy Black convention. I did a keynote yesterday, which you can actually check out the keynote speech at drboycetv.com. That's drboycetv.com. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's part of our initiative to build Black media throughout the world, and media that really empowers Black people, but also informs us and allows us to have some fun and all that good stuff. I personally think it was a solid speech in the sense that I didn't prepare for it. In the sense, meaning like not that I was sloppy with it. I'm not sloppy with it, but I like to speak from the heart, you know, and everything that came out. At least half of what came out, I did not know it was going to come out. I kind of let God guide me to say what I need to say. Hey, a young king, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, so what I want to talk about really quick is I want to talk about, you know, the holidays coming up. The holidays are a big deal. People love to spend money. Nobody likes to spend money more than Black people. The studies show that we tend to overdo it when it comes to just really trying to do things with our money that make us feel good. And I think that that's cool. I think nothing's wrong with that. But I think at the same time, you got to be aware of the risks, the extreme risks in terms of what's happening with Black wealth and why Black wealth is declining. A lot of the reason Black wealth is declining is because we give our money away. I mean, I want you to just really think about that. You know, why would you give your money away and then complain that you don't have any money? That doesn't make any sense, right? You wouldn't see me take off my pants and then say, damn it, this is so unfair. Everybody's so racist because I don't have any pants. Well, you don't have any pants because you had pants and you gave them away. So Black people, we don't have as much wealth as we would have if white people had never stolen from us, but we do have less wealth than we would have had if we taken the money that we did get and kept that. You know, if Black people were a country, I don't know if you guys know this, but if Black Americans were a country on our own, we would be one of the richest countries on earth. Did you know that? Like literally we would be in like the top 10 richest countries on the planet. So how can you have enough income that you would be among the top 10 highest income earning countries on the planet, but yet you claim that you're poor and can't come out of that? Like that's a mindset. That's a poverty mindset. Poverty mindset is very real. Money is very psychological. My beloved grandmother Felicia, who's buried just a few miles away from where I'm staying here in Atlanta, you know, used to tell me all the time, money is in your head. You know, she said, look, I never made more than $22,000 a year, and I had people come in to borrow money from me who were making $80,000 a year. If you don't have your mind right, then your money won't be right. You know, mind ain't right, money ain't right. Just know that, you know, it's all psychological. In fact, Louis Farrakhan also gave a great speech recently where he said, he was explaining that wealth is knowledge. Wealth starts with up here, right? So you got to develop what's up here before you can develop what's going to be in here, what's going to be in that bank account. Now I'm going to go through some little tips and kind of information to kind of help you understand, like the warning, the big warning that you really want to be aware of is that credit card debt in the United States is higher than it's ever been. It keeps going up and up and up. There's no sign that it's going to slow down. And here's the worst thing. Here's the crazy part. They don't want it to go down. You know, they don't want credit card debt to go down. They don't want you to stop spending because that's what drives the economy. That's why I was in the mall just yesterday. I was in this Galleria near my hotel, and I walked into this mall, right? And I was walking around. I was like, oh, this is so nice. All the Christmas decorations. I like being in the mall at Christmas. And then I said, wait a minute, Boyce. It ain't even Christmas. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. They started putting up Christmas decorations after Halloween. And I was like, why are they putting up Christmas decorations right after Halloween? That's kind of crazy. And so I figured out, I was like, oh, that's right, because when Christmas comes, you feel festive. You feel like spending. You feel like making it rain, you know, just going out there and just dropping them bands on anybody that asks for your money, and you end up, struggling, broke after Christmas is over, right? A lot of people do. And so it's really all psychological as well. You know, the same way I tell you to get your mind right, to get your money right, there are people that want your mind to stay wrong. They want to get your mind wrong so they can get their money right, right? They want to get you high so they can take advantage of you. They want to get you high and drunk so they can take it while you're sleeping, right? So a lot of us are asleep. A lot of people talk about being Black and woke, but nobody talks about being Black and being financially woke. If you're woke but broke, then you're going to be a joke. You know, if you're woke but not financially woke, then you ain't really woke. Because you can't be woke in America and fight against white supremacy if you don't have your financial situation together, because you can't give away one of your most powerful resources, which is your money, which is your income. Now do this for me. I want to tell everybody something. I put up a video where I was talking about, I don't know if you guys remember, where I did something on Dr. Boyce TV where I was talking about the fight between the school teacher and the kid, and I was breaking that down and kind of explaining, you know, just what's going on in the school system and with the kids and everything else and all that. Well, YouTube sent me a notification saying that that video, because I showed a highlight of the fight, that violated their community service guidelines. So and at the same time, the day before, so what they did was they took my channel's up, drboycetv.com, but I cannot go live on that channel for 3 months. So I will not be going live on Dr. Boyce TV until actually 2 months, till February, mid-February. So like right after Valentine's Day is when I can go live again. I cannot go live on Dr. Boyce TV, you know, until that time. And so I want to warn everybody, number one, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or anything, just know that they're racist. They're also very oppressive when it comes to blocking freedom of speech. I don't think there's anything harmful about the analysis that I did, but that's what they do. They love to take stuff down and chop people up. And also, Vicky Dillon, I see you're in here, and I hope Michi X, I want Michi X to watch too. But on Fly New Being Queen, I know that sometimes conversations come up that are pretty radical, pretty hardcore, that involve either violence or something about maybe the Jews or whatever. You gotta be cautious about that, or they will take your stuff down. So so I would encourage everybody who's doing anything on social media, just know your conversations are being controlled and monitored by Big Brother, and they're getting everybody. They're getting me. And in fact, at the same time, the day before, I got banned from Facebook for another month. So I won't be on Facebook either. I won't be doing anything on Facebook because Facebook basically I shared an article. That was written by somebody else. You know, in like USA Today, it was like a mainstream. I think it was an article where Joan Rivers called Michelle Obama a derogatory name. I'm not even gonna say the word because I don't want to get banned again. But she called her a derogatory name, and I put it up. I just shared it, and I said, "What do you guys think about this?" And literally, Facebook banned me for 30 days, not for what I said, but for what somebody said in an article. And that's not the first time that happened. So I kind of should have known better, but that's kind of what you're dealing with. You're really dealing with a really oppressive kind of scenario. Now, what we're doing is I talked to my lawyer, and I told my lawyer, I said, this racism by Facebook, this censorship by Facebook and Google and all that, we got to kind of deal with that. Let's fight back. So I'm having my lawyer write them a letter and maybe file a lawsuit to kind of talk about this, because I want this to kind of be out there, because it's kind of crazy that you can't say anything without them, you know, without them saying it's too radical, too black. If you literally say white males are the biggest terrorists in America, you have a chance of being banned because they consider that to be discrimination against white males. So it's kind of screwed up. It is what it is. I just want to let everybody know. So if you are looking for me to be live on drboycetv.com, don't look for me to be live. Everything that goes up will be recorded. If you want to see me live, follow me at Instagram at The Real Boyce Watkins. If you go to Instagram at The Real Boyce Watkins, you can follow me live. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start activating my Twitter. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. Follow me on Twitter. And what I'll do is I'll have my whole arsenal set up. I'll be recording on my computer. I'll have my one cell phone up on Twitter, another phone up on Instagram. So I'll go live on those spaces. Facebook, I cannot go live on Facebook, and YouTube, I cannot go live on YouTube. And it just is what it is. Now, somebody said we need our own Facebook. Actually, we do have that. We actually have our own Facebook that we created. It's called Blaggenuf, BLAGGENUF, BLAGGENUF. Somebody type that in, please. BLAGGENUF.com. If you go to blaggenuff.com, that is our Facebook. That is a black space where you can go there and you can actually say what you want, talk about what you want. You know, the challenge right now with Blaggenuf is getting the word out. You know, we've told a lot of people, we have about 20,000 people that are black folks that are in there doing their thing, talking about whatever they want. But really, you know, we should have millions in there, right? So, you know, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you guys can join and tell us how, you know, give us some ideas on how we can get the word out. But I do a lot of posting on Blaggenuf. I'm showing you guys a screen share. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the screen share, because I'm actually going to record this and put it on YouTube. But basically, Blaggenuf, you've got a lot of black folks in here that are posting all kinds of stuff about, let's see, Morocco's first high-speed train. You've got T-Maz, who writes, when anything is complicated or scary, you immediately start with the basics and stand on that. And then, you know, you got, let's see, I see Ray Coleman and T-Maz is talking about Trump lying 18 times a day. So just a lot of stuff in here. We got economic sections. We have sections on love and relationships. We have sections on politics. We have sections on just crazy radical black people stuff, whatever it is. So if you want to join, go to blaggenuff.com. And somebody also asked, do I have a Patreon? We do have a Patreon account. And the Patreon is it's our organization. It's a group called the League of Intelligent Black People. And if you want to support our Black media efforts and the efforts of everything that we're doing to put the money back into the Black community, go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. To be a Patreon, it doesn't cost much. And it's not even a cost, it's an investment, because everything you give us, we give you back tenfold, not just from expanding Black media, which is a big deal, but also we give you gifts and free classes and free sessions where you can come in and talk to me directly in a small group setting, little things like that. So feel free to go to intelligentblackpeople.com. It does mean a lot in our effort to build Black media. Last but not least, I'll make sure you guys know, if you live in Houston, I'll be in Houston December 8th with Dr. Venetia Dutra to talk about Black wealth in the 21st century. You can actually go to drboycehouston.com if you want to take a look at that, drboycehouston.com. All right, so that's all the things we got going on. We got a lot going on, and so Facebook and Google and YouTube and all that, they can do what they're going to do, but we're going to do what we're going to do, and that's how it is. That's how Powernomics works. You have battles. You have you can't go and achieve power without somebody getting in the way, right? A football team can't just dance its way into the end zone. You're going to have to bust through a defensive line to get there. So we're ready to bust through the line. We're going to keep fighting, and we're not going to stop. Now, let me give you some quick tips on how to not go broke or during Christmas when you're dealing with this credit card thing. First thing I want to tell you is that, credit card debt is super high. I'm looking at this article on MSNBC. They said 43% of Americans have been carrying a credit card balance for at least 2 years. $16,883 is what the average American household owes in credit card debt. That doesn't include student loan debt. Student loan debt is actually the big culprit. That's where the big economic crash is going to come from. It's from if you look at the Black community, half of all Black college graduates have defaulted on their student loans. Half of all Black college graduates who expected that going to college was going to put them in a better economic situation can't pay their student loans. Half of all Black college graduates are probably going to die in debt. Right. So I want you to think about that. Right. When you grow up and white folks are educating you, they're telling you, hey, go to college, 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 go to college. That's your key to freedom. Well, it's not, doesn't seem to be the key to freedom. It seems like it's the key to corporate sharecropping, where you are stuck so deep in debt that you got to go work for these corporations in order to pay back debt that was inflated from the beginning. This debt that you owe for college was not worth it. It shouldn't cost you $100,000 to go to school. It shouldn't cost you that much. In the Black business school, we have the same PhDs, better professors than what you get in college. Everybody has doctorates and law degrees and all that. And most of our programs are $2, $3 a day. So how is it that we're able to educate Black people at a superior level for $3 a day, but they're telling you that to go to college, you got to pay $50,000, $60,000 a year? Well, it's because of the way the system's structured. A lot of HBCUs are even in that conundrum where they're charging insane amounts of money and people can't pay back the debt. So the student loan debt is actually the debt that's killing people. The credit card debt is just kind of kicking you in the butt. The student loan debt is stomping on your head. So here's some things you can do Christmas time to kind of keep them going further in the hole. If your goal is to move forward. Not everybody's goal is to move forward, so I don't expect everybody to want to watch this video, but I make these videos for the people that want to listen. The first thing you can do is, number one, if you are buying things for Christmas, if you choose to buy, to show your love for your loved ones, which is okay, nothing wrong with that. Don't feel the need to use plastic. Maybe you can just tell yourself, like, I'm just gonna get a bunch of cash and I'm gonna buy what my cash will afford. And I won't even touch the plastic. Leave your credit cards at home. If you go to the mall and you don't want to overspend, don't give yourself the ability to overspend. When I wanted to lose weight, when I was battling weight gain, I remember one of the biggest things that made a difference for me was when I stopped keeping sugar in the house. And what I found is that when I had sugar in the house, I would get an urge or a craving for candy or for a cookie or whatever, and it would be like 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I get that urge, that craving, I would go in there and eat the cookie. I go in there and eat the candy. And when the cookies and the candies weren't there, and I replaced them with fruits and vegetables, when I got that same craving, I had to satisfy that craving with a piece of cantaloupe, right, or with some watermelon, or with an apple, or whatever. Right. And so basically the same thing is true with credit card debt. Sometimes the best way to actually studies show that the best way to overcome temptation is not to overcome it. The best way to overcome temptation is to avoid it. Right. Like you don't want to be the alcoholic who's hanging out in the bar every day. You don't do that. Because if you're an alcoholic, you're hanging out in the bar, at some point you're going to be like, one little drink ain't going to hurt me. Next thing you know, it's 2 little sips, and then 3. Next thing you know, you passed out on the floor, you know, and you're off the wagon, and you're feeling bad because you blew everything, threw it all away, right? So same thing is true when it comes to spending. Keep your credit cards at home if you don't want to use them. If you don't want to overspend, or maybe bring one card that has a certain limit that's within range of your budget, and then let that be all you have. Number 2, when you go spend money, make sure you keep a budget. You know, keep a budget for how much you want to spend on gifts, but also keep a budget for how much you want to spend per person, and don't go outside that budget. So if your goal is, look, I'm gonna buy presents for Aunt Lucy and Uncle Billy and for the kids, and you want to spend $50 per person, then stick with that $50. Like that's another good way. Like if you have a budget, what a budget does is a budget causes you to be conscious about what you're doing with your money. When you become conscious, that's the first step toward becoming or getting away from being unconscious. Right? Think about this. The conscious Black community, what does that mean? Being conscious means you're awake, you're woke, you're looking around, you're a conscious person, right? An unconscious person is what? They're knocked out. They don't know what's going on, right? An unconscious person, you can rob them. You know, some people might, sexually assault people like that. Whatever they want to do to them, spit on them, whatever, right? President Obama had a guy that worked for him named Reggie Love, and he got fired because he was unconscious, drunk at a frat party in college, and a white frat boy put his balls on his head. It literally put his testicles on this guy's head and took a picture while he was unconscious, right? And years later, this picture that was taken of him while he was unconscious literally is what caused him to lose his job working right next to the president of the United States. So think about this. You're a young Black man who has achieved the biggest dream, one of the biggest dreams out there, right, of working right next to the president of the United States, and you lose your job because of something that somebody did to you while you were unconscious, right? So ultimately, the same thing is true when it comes to spending. Most spending is driven by the way they program your subconscious and unconscious mind. They want you unconscious. They want to dig into your subconscious because they don't want you to consciously look around and analyze what's actually happening with your money. Because the minute you become conscious, you say, hey, wait a minute, hold on, wait, I'm not spending that much on a pair of pants, right? Or whatever. But if they get you unconscious, then that's how they get more money out of you. So basically, budgeting keeps you conscious. Budgeting lets you look and say, okay, I got $50. All right. Okay, that's $48.99. I can afford that. Or that's $52.96. I don't want that. That goes outside the budget, right? Same thing with time. In my program, Black Keys to Greatness, at blackkeystogreatness.com, I have students in a program on time management, goal setting, overcoming obstacles. So at blackkeystogreatness.com, one of the things I talk to people about is that the way to manage your time is you must be conscious of your time. Time gets wasted when you're not conscious. When you're sitting there, you're just watching a TV show, you're not thinking about what time it is, and next thing you know, you like, man, I can't believe I've been sitting here for 6 hours. That's what happens. That's why you lose your time. It's because you don't remain conscious of it. But what I do is when I find myself slipping and slacking and laying around and being lazy, I'll literally lock my brain in and be like, okay, it is 11:42. I'm now conscious of that. I want to begin working by 11:45. And when I become conscious, guess what? My focus is locked in. I'm very deliberate and intentional about what I do with my time. And that's what I end up doing, in my life. That's what makes me productive. That's what I do every day. Literally, I force myself to lock into a zone where I become conscious of what I'm doing with my time, conscious of what I'm doing with my money, conscious of what I'm doing with my life. When I'm conscious, I can't be stopped. When I'm unconscious, I can get screwed like everybody else. So don't be unconscious. Be very conscious. Be very intentional about what you do with your money. What's the URL? It's blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com if you want to take a look at the program. The first month is free. 3, talk to your kids about financial expectations. Kind of make sure your kids understand like what's about to go down at Christmas time. Your kids are little financial vacuum cleaners. Your children will suck you dry financially, and they will not care. Because in their mind, you have an infinite supply of money. You are mama, daddy, Warbucks. You can make it rain anywhere at any time. When I was little, I used to look at my mama's purse, and I would see a $20 bill, and I thought she was Warren Buffett. And my mama, I'd say, hey, mama, let's go to McDonald's. And she'd say, boy, I ain't got no McDonald's money. And I would say, yes, you do, mama. I saw $20 in your purse. And I didn't understand that $20 didn't really mean nothing, but in my mind, I really thought that my mother, could afford, to buy whatever she wanted because she had $20 in her purse. And so with children, you have to set expectations with them. You have to kind of set a scenario where they are able to more appropriately understand, how much you are and are not willing to spend. A good way to do this. I did this for my daughter. It was the ultimate financial Jedi mind trick. When my daughter's about 11, I did something with her where I said, you know what, you're a big girl now, and it doesn't make sense for me to just go buy you Christmas presents like that. I said, how about you get your own presents? How about I just give you the money and let you get your own presents? And so she's like, yeah, okay, that sounds good, right? She's grown up, get to do what she wants, right? So in my mind, I said, we're not spending more than $120 on Christmas gifts. I'm not going into the hundreds and into the thousands like people do when they are trying to, show false love by just spending money, right? And so I gave her $120. Think about that, right? You're 11 and you got a stack of 20s and 10s. $120 as an 11-year-old. That's crazy. That's an insane amount of money. So she's looking at this, eyes all big. She's kind of freaking out because she's super excited about it. So I said, you know what? Let's go to the mall. You buy whatever you want, whatever you want. Now let me tell you what happened. So we go into the mall. Normally, if it was Daddy's money, she'd want everything on the shelf. Yeah, I want that. I want that. I like that. Oh, Daddy, can I have that? Oh, can you get me that? Right? It's like buy, spend, because there's no consequences for spending. It's all my money, right? But when it was her money, she became very conscious. When it was her money, suddenly she wasn't trying to make it rain no more because she was paying for the raindrops, right? She's like, she's going in the store and she starts price comparison, looking at stuff like, oh, I want this, but this is cheaper and this costs a little more. And then she wouldn't get either one of them, or she put stuff in her basket and go to the checkout line and then be like, oh no, I don't want this, and then take it back. Like, her behavior totally changed because it was her money. When it became her money and she was the one who felt the consequences of the spending decision, it totally elevated her economic consciousness. So I'm gonna tell you, I think that's something you may want to try with your kids this year if you've never done it before. Is just do that. Give them a whole bunch of money, and they'll be so excited. And then watch how their behavior, analyze their behavior. Be a scientist for me. Just observe how they go about making purchasing decisions. They're not going to be spending money the way they spent it when it was your money. It's easy for me to spend your money. It's damn hard for me to spend mine. So ultimately, I think with kids, I think setting those expectations can help. And let me tell you what happened with my daughter. Here's how it finished off. With the way it ended was, she bought nothing in the mall that day. She bought nothing. Think about this. A little kid, it's Christmas. She did not buy one single thing in that mall because she could not let go of any of that money, right? Now, do you think that would have happened if that had been my money? That had been Daddy's money? Nope. That's why it's important to help your children shape financial consequences. You got to make a connection. In our household, one of the rules is that everything financial must be connected to something productive. Everything financial must be connected to some sort of effort you must do to earn that money. I told the woman who's going to be my wife one day, I said, look, we're not raising no little welfare recipients. We're not going to raise them to think that you can get something for nothing. That's just our value system. We don't believe in that, And so I encourage you to try techniques like that with kids. Think about the gifts you get them. Don't just spend, invest. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to buy me a couple of toys, but she bought fewer toys than she actually bought savings bonds. The bulk of her money would go toward savings bonds, which at that time were a good investment. They're not so good anymore. Now I'm a bigger believer in things like shares of stock. So consider that with your kids. Those are some tips I would throw out to you. In terms of the kids, don't just spend, invest in your kids. Financial gifts are great gifts, like shares of stock, things like that. If you want to sign your children up for our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program, feel free. We educate thousands and thousands of children all around the world on economic principles, everything from real estate to stock and bond investing to, and I'm launching in the next 3 days my new entrepreneurship program for children, which consists of animated cartoons that explain all the principles of entrepreneurship, everything from how to set up an elevator pitch to the difference between an LLC and a sole proprietorship to to how to market your corporation, all this stuff. And also there are little exams that they can take where they can show you that they actually have mastered the material. So you can offer them $20 and say, I'll give you a $20 reward or a $20 bonus if you go through these videos and get a perfect score on the test, right? And so basically, the goal of the program is to make sure our kids are financially literate. I would tell you that the gift of financial literacy is a gift that lasts for the next 50 years for a child, 70 years for the child. It lasts for the rest of their life. A toy lasts for about 3 months or 6 months until they get tired of it. So I would encourage you to give them gifts that are more lasting as opposed to just things that are, frivolous, right? So if you're interested in the program, feel free to go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. You have access to all the different programs we have, and most importantly, your children can actually get a certificate. They can get a certificate of completion when they're done, which is hugely important for their self-esteem. It's like you can treat it like it's their first college degree because they literally got this degree from a college professor, who would be me, and that really does a lot for their psyche as they get older and they start confronting all these other systems that are out here. They don't have to wait till they're 18, 19, or 20 to learn the basics of financial literacy. They can learn it while they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So anyway, feel free to check it out. I'll give you the URL. Thanks for the compliment, Lamont. It is blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. So somebody please type that in, blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. And I picked that name deliberately. Again, everything's intentional. I picked the name Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. Every single word in that name means something. They're black. They're going to be the millionaires of tomorrow. These are the seeds that we're planting. These are the kids that are going to go and create the billion-dollar companies. It's almost like when I had a program with Damon Dash, when Damon Dash and it's still in there in the Black Business School if you want to go take a look at it, where we talked about making money in the entertainment industry. We did about 100 hours of video content on all the things he learned from building Rockefeller Records, building Kanye West, building all the different, building the Rachel Roy brand. And he said, what name do you want to give it? I said, let's call it IBM. He said, what does IBM stand for? I said, Intelligent Boss Moves. And he said, where'd you get that name from? I said, well, intelligent means that if you want to survive in this world, especially as a black man or black woman, you got to be intelligent. But if you're intelligent and you don't have courage or strength, then it doesn't matter. So you got to be a boss. You got to think like a boss. And then also at the same time, though, you could be intelligent and you could be a boss. But nothing happens if you don't make a move. So if you're scared to make a move, then it doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter how great your ideas are. It doesn't matter what your potential is, because none of it's being used. You're like a fancy sports car that doesn't get out of the garage. A fancy sports car that doesn't get out of the garage goes 0 miles an hour. It is slower than the slowest snail on the sidewalk. At least the snail is moving. The sports car in the garage is sitting still. So a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like the sports car sitting in the garage, just sitting still, sitting there saying, if I wanted to go 100 miles an hour, I could go 100 miles an hour. But I got to go to work and I can't do it because I'm too, I don't want to get in trouble and I don't want to cause no problem. Okay, well, then that's cool. Just sit in the garage and you might as well have been born a Toyota. It don't matter if you a sports car if you ain't moving. So that's what I told Dame. I said, IBM, Intelligent Boss Moves. You must have brains. You got to have balls, and you got to make a move. Whatever you do, it's better to make a move that most of the time it's better to make a move that is a little sloppy than it is to sit still in sort of quiet perfection. Right? You're perfectly stuck exactly where you are. There's no chaos. There's no waves in the water, no nothing. Because you're like, you don't want to be like that though. Where you're like the catfish that's sitting at the bottom of the lake, not moving, not even making a wave. A lot of us live our lives like that. We don't want to make any waves, so we just sit there still, and we're scared to make a move. But I'm gonna tell you, I believe that if you want to achieve your greatness in this world, you got to make a move, even if it's the wrong damn move. At least you try something. Right? At least you tried. At least you took a shot. So whatever it is, whatever you want to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, my final note to you is go take a damn shot. Just take a shot, man. Just stop sitting still. Go take a shot. So let me give you a couple URLs that you may want to write down that may benefit you and your family, especially as the holidays are coming. Number one, our kids program is blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. First month is totally free, so feel free to go check that out, blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. Number two, if you want to support our movement to build Black media, please go to intelligentblackpeople.com, intelligentblackpeople.com. That's our organization for people where we ask you to help us support the channel, and we support you by giving you free information, free content, lots of extra access, all kinds of great things that make it worth your while. Last thing, if you live in Houston, I'm going to be in Houston December 8th with Dr. Venetia Dutra, who is starting a massive real estate fund, similar to the Tulsa Fund. It's kind of similar. I supported Jay's Tulsa Fund. I support Andre C. Hatchett's fund that he's creating. I'm also supporting Dr. Dutra's real estate fund. She has a PhD in finance, so she's very highly educated. Very few people have that level of expertise in finance, and she's creating $1 million fund to go and buy properties, Airbnbs, and flip properties and all that. And so I'm supporting her fund by coming down to Houston to help her to discuss that. But also we're going to have a Black Wealth conversation the entire night. Lots of great networking, food, drinks, hanging out, talking, you know, just a great experience. So if you're interested, you live in Houston, go to drboycehouston.com. That's drboycehouston.com. So if you have not yet, hit the share button or the like button at drboycetv.com. Please do that. And don't forget, after you hit the share button, like button, thumbs up button, and all that stuff, if you're on drboycetv.com, do not expect me to go live. I will not be live on that channel for 2 months because YouTube blocked it. If you're on Facebook, I won't be live for I guess 30 days. I have a 30-day ban from Facebook. So I guess being Black is really being illegal. Like literally, I'm treated like an illegal alien. Like, you know, and isn't it kind of funny? They'll make all these amends for or make all these accommodations for illegal aliens, but they won't do that for Black people. They treat us like we don't belong here. But I'm okay with that. It's totally fine. It is what it is. We got to make a move. So if you want to connect and see me live, 2 places I'll be able to go live. One is on my Instagram, which is the real Boyce Watkins, or on Twitter, which is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. And if you want to share that and tell other people, feel free to do that. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace.